We are interviewing Dimitrios from BLACKBOX COMICS. Who is the Dream Master?
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can honestly my life.
What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the live New Keys and Hot Comics podcast, episode number 38. But first, before we start, if you have not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button below. If you're watching on Facebook, maybe jump over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We do have our 500 subscriber contest that is going on. You must find the 500 subscriber video on our YouTube channel, be a subscriber, like that video, comment on that video, and you will be entered to win one of three fabulous prizes. One being a Heroes in Crisis 1 through 9 set donated by NE Comic and Toy. Shout out to Jeff DePrez. Second prize is a headshot design of a character for our very own Ronaldo, aka Green Shirt Guy. And our first place prize is a CGC 9.8 graded comic, which many of you have been asking, what is it? And we're not going to reveal that because we want you to like and comment all the stuff on there. So
we're leaving you suspense. That's all it is.
Building it up. So if you want to be entered, do those things. Subscribe to the channel, like that video, comment on that video, and you will be entered. So I'd like to, at this point, introduce the rest of the cast here. My loyal counsel, Phil, Cliff, Green Shirt Guy, and our special guest, Dimitrios from BLACKBOX COMICS. How you guys doing today?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
No problem. We got Cliff coming in and out here.
There he goes.
All right. So, Dimitrios, thank you for coming on. That's the first thing. We talked a lot over at AlternaCon 2 in Hyde Park. I was able to read 1 through 5 of Dream Master.
Oh, dope.
So, we'll talk a little bit about that. Everybody's going to ask you a question. But first, I want to bring up your stuff. This is your IG. And as I'm going to scroll through all this, just tell us a little bit about yourself and BLACKBOX Comics.
All right. So, BLACKBOX been around 6 years. This past March we hit. So we're going on 7. For almost 20 years, I was doing banking. And my first idea and first book that we launched was IT, which is basically the IT guy, kind of like a detective uncovering corruption within the banking system. So since I did that as a career, it was kind of easy to adapt and move into the comic scene and start developing all these titles. After I created the first one, we actually continued it and did a volume 2. We had actually a really good team. Most of the guys were from like DC Comics. We had like Scott McDaniel, Taylor Esposito's amazing, Tio Gonzalez, our colorist, Andy Owens, our inker. So they made it easier for me because these guys were in the game for a while, and I learned bits and pieces from everybody, and I've only gotten better, I believe, as I develop each title. We've had a couple of like big familiar names, like some of the guys I just mentioned, and then we also had Chuck Dixon on Militia, Kevin Gravel, who was he's the guy who created the movie Underworld and I, Frankenstein. He's a good buddy. I talked to him just the other day, actually. We're trying to see if we could come up with another title to work on together. And then a lot of the other people, too, are just indie people on the come up. And some of these guys got hired by Marvel, so they're just really fantastic talent. They put out some great books with me, like Gin Hunter, Biggs and Tiny. The guy from that is Federico Sabatini. I believe he was doing Spider-Man and now Moon Knight, I think. I'm trying to think who else. Lucas Mayer, he worked on Ninja Gaiden for me. A really nice guy to work with. He was doing Titan's Blood for DC Comics, and I believe he's doing something else now for them.
Okay. Excellent. Let's start off with a Green Shirt Guy. You got questions for Mr.
Oh,
Dimitrios?
my question. Ooh, mine are always hard questions, but let's see. What do you look for if you have an indie person or someone that you didn't personally seek out? What do you look at when you're trying to start a new title or you have an idea for new stuff?
It's important to know what genres they're comfortable with. So, for example, with Jonathan Hedrick, who wrote Dream Master for me, we were put in touch by, I don't know if you guys know Comics with Bueller. He has his own YouTube show.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice guy. And he put me and Jonathan in touch, actually. And Jonathan did The Recount and several other books, Capable. You know, we were going back and forth with conversations and trying to see where he's at. What would he like to do? What would be fun for him to play with? And, you know, he was telling me about like horror. And, you know, I told him I have something with a little bit horror and fantasy. And he was up for it. Once I told him what it was, I mean, he ran with it. I mean, he loved it. And I'm sure if you see any interviews with him, he talks about it. And he's very enthusiastic about it. So once I knew he was comfortable with horror, like he did like a sample write-up for me, and he hit it out of the park. I knew right away he was the guy for the job. So,
Right on.
Nice. Angel from Empire Comics says, "What up, Council? What up, Angel?" Uncle Cliff says, "5 cool cats." And then he says, "Comics sure have changed since the 50s." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for watching. Cliff, you're up.
I'm up.
Do
Oh,
you see the bar there? I'm following the ladder. Come on.
We're
going up the ladder. It's like,
Jeez.
I'm the worst. I'm so sorry. All right. I don't.
the pressure is on.
Well, no, the pressure's on. I've had a really long day, so my mind is destroyed. All right. Let's ask a story question. Do you mind if I ask a story question based on Dream Master?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Do you like the Queen of Night? Was there any particular inspiration for that character?
We just kind of came up with that. I mean, that was between me and Luigi, who did a phenomenal job designing her. I was giving him some ideas of what I wanted, but he's the one who executed and hit a home run on it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looked great. I just kept wondering if, like, you know, the story of Lilith played into that at all or not, you know. But like, I mean, she stands alone as her own character, but I wondered if there was a little bit of a biblical callback there.
Nah, I mean, not for me at least. I mean, I don't know on his end, but we actually had a similar design, but she looked different enough. And I could offline, I'll show you guys. I don't have it right now, but it was also a really cool look. But I think this really brought out a little more of the nightmare in her with what we ended up with. And we have really big plans for her in the future volumes. So
I hope so. She's a great villain.
Yeah, she's great.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, it really works. And, you know, and the look is fantastic. And the whole idea of me even asking about the inspiration thing didn't come from any of the imagery or anything. I was like, oh, I wonder if like that crossed their mind at all.
But
like, I love, like, I like that ethereal look, right? Like I am the night. I am outer space. I am inner space. I am all those things. I love that look that it gives off.
Yeah, no, she's a really intriguing character. Like I said, we have big plans. I wish I could spoil something for you guys. I'd love to tell you, but I would ruin it for everybody. So
no, we wouldn't want you to do that.
No, but it's a great villain.
But the only spoiler I'll give you is we did finish scripts for Volume 2. And me and Jonathan are working on Volume 3 scripts. And I know that art for Volume 2 is going to start shortly. So there's going to be a gap between Volume 1 and 2. But, you know, we'll get it out there as soon as we can. I know a lot of people are asking about it. And, you know, even we want it. So we're all excited about that.
Excellent. Angel says, Cliff is speechless. What? No way. Phil, you're up.
Yeah, you know what? No, excuse me. My question is, it's a little bit different, but you know, what was what have been like some of the comics or titles that have like influenced Black Box Comics?
I mean, I wouldn't say any specific comics influenced me, but of course, it's part of your journey, right? Growing up. So like, I was a big Daredevil fan when I was younger.
Okay.
Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men. I was more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy growing up.
Okay.
And I always had these ideas since I was a kid. So like when I talked to my team about Dream Master, I always had this idea for quite a long time, and obviously not to the level that it is now, but it was just something I knew I always wanted to do this character. And when I found the right team, it was just right timing. Luigi's art, I don't know if you guys have seen all the pages inside, but it's just amazing what he's done.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I was gonna say, who's your color team? I wish I had paid more attention to the credits. But who's the color team? Because they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, so Ruben Curto has got his work cut out for him. Because Luigi, again, so detailed and so many things he puts within each page. So Ruben's really phenomenal colorist. He's done a great job, and we're keeping the same team. So that's the good thing, that Volume 2, Volume 3 will be very consistent. Everybody, I think, is only going to get better as we go along with this journey of Dream Master, because they'll get more familiar with him and the different worlds that he gets to step into.
That's great.
And DC Hopkins is really well known as a letterer. He's done a fantastic job. Somebody had asked me, "Oh, what did you tell him? He's done such a great job designing everything." I didn't tell him anything. He's just really good at what he does, and he just ran with it. And when he presented it to me, I had no complaints from what he did. So I thought he did a fantastic job.
Excellent.
No complaints, especially since, like everything looks like a visual buffet, if that's like makes sense. Like I
like that phrase. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Like what I said. And I mean, obviously, clearly, my most favorite design out of everything has been the Queen of Night. Like, I love the villain. I absolutely love the look. She pops on look, it's just the corner of her there in that picture. It's like, it's great. It's menacing, and it captivates you in the look.
Yeah, she's on the issue 3 variant cover. And I believe, and then she's on issue 5 on the main cover. And I'm sure you guys probably know this, but every cover A for each issue is a wraparound cover.
Yeah.
And again, Luigi's just so good that I just felt like, you know what, let me give this dude both pages, both sides of the cover to just play around and do what he wants with it.
I love that, and also did not realize that until you mentioned it.
Yeah. I guess what my question is, as I was reading it, coincidence that I'm just starting to watch Sandman on Netflix right now. And as I'm watching Sandman, and I was kind of like watching that, and then I was like, oh, I gotta finish Dream Master. I read Dream Master, and I'm like, it gives me like feels of that kind of like, you know what I mean, like that dream world essence. But it also has like the way Dream Master looks gives me a feel of like a Rorschach and Sandman in Sandman's world. You know what I mean? And I thought that was really, really cool. Me and Green Shirt guy were talking about earlier if was he a priest?
No, because he's in the second issue is where he
the one that the blind guy. That we were wondering if that was maybe Dream Master from the future or something like that. And
I can't spoil anything, right?
No, I'm not actually gonna spoil that. But
he evidently has greater meaning.
Where I see these big universes, is this all going to be one universe?
From all the titles, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is plans. I actually have like a layout, sort of like a cloud of what characters are going to appear in what books. I would say Dream Master is going to be one of the main guys to connect the universes.
Makes sense.
But there's a few others, like we got Jin Hunter and Devil's Dominion. So I think they're all going to play like a vital role in the overall universe.
Okay.
So you will be seeing characters popping in to different volumes, different titles.
I love that you mentioned the Jin Hunter, because like it is like aesthetically so different, but like thematically makes perfect sense for them to encounter each other.
Right.
And like,
yeah,
I would love seeing that.
That's another beautiful book. I know Anthony loves that book. He's always talking to me about it. And that was actually CBR, I believe, had it as #1 indie book when it came out.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
And Devil's Dominion, the same year it came out, I think it was in the top 10 as well.
Nice. So what are some future plans for Black Box? Does it stay in the comic world? Does it shoot out to other areas of media? What's the future for Black Box?
So, I mean, right now I'm working on about 15 titles. And some of those titles are volume 2 and volume 3 of certain titles, and others are new ones. So, I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, I'm sure Green Shirt Guy knows how much work that is. So I'm just jumping constantly from one title to the other. But I am putting out one by one or maybe 2 titles at a time, just to try to assure like quality. I'm not so into putting out 50 titles at once. That I don't think that benefits me. I think that kind of it hurts the publisher. I believe it also hurts the retailer, because retailers only have limited shelf space, limited budgets. They're not going to buy 50 titles from you, and if they do, they're not going to do 10 or 20 copies each. So I just think from a business strategy standpoint, it's better to like just slowly let books out, and even for the fans. I mean, they have a budget, right? So they can't buy everything at once.
Oh, get ready. You're going to hear us complain about budgets on here. Don't worry about that. How about outside of comics? I know we talked a little bit. I know we talked a little bit at the shop, but you see superhero movies now and superhero TV shows. Can you envision this down the line going that route?
I definitely could. I'm envisioning it every day.
Okay.
So like we've been talking to people, and we're actually having meetings and getting our name out. And I think there's gonna be a lot of exciting stuff coming for Black Box in that arena. You know, whether it's going to be film or TV, possibly both. I don't know. I mean, that's all up to, you know, whoever is on the other end. But we got to meet with some big names that everybody, I'm sure, would be familiar if I said the names that's on this. So, I mean, unfortunately, I can't say who.
Oh, no. I don't want you to ruin none of that. But
I will let you guys know as soon as that happens. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a dream, right? Like seeing these characters play out on TV, film, to expand their reach, new audiences, because some people obviously, you know, not everybody reads comics. So being able to expand that and reach people that could connect with these characters and hopefully bring them from watching movies and shows to comics. So I think what we do is very unique compared to a lot of others. You know, when you look at whether it's Dream Master or IT or Gin Hunter, I think they're very different and unique type of books. So I think that's always a good way to bring a new audience in, you know, and to make yourself stand out as a publisher as well. So
definitely. Uncle Cliff says the color is super cool. What you're showing, just wonderful. Yeah, the colors in the books are pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we had some amazing variant artists too. Like one of my main guys, Tiago. He's the guy who did the foils you guys probably saw. And it was a 2-parter where one, he opens the portal, and then the second cover is where he runs through the portal. So I thought that was cool. It was fun to play with. And then there's another one where he's sticking his hand out, and that was by Vinz El Tab. I thought that was pretty dope too, because that's kind of what he does, right? That's like he's sticking his hand out to help you and try to get you through it. So
yeah, basically to keep them alive, like instead of stopping from their own
as best he can, right?
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Can't win them all.
Yeah, that little twist.
Yeah,
that little twist got me. Anybody else got any last questions for Dimitrios?
We're in contact. I have your information.
Excellent.
Those grapefruit Cheetos